So today is one of my series of where to live in Spain, and today we're in Benidorm, and one of the most popular places, I would say, along the Northern Costa Blanca coast. Gets masses of inputs of holiday makers and people that want to live there. Lots of Brits live there, but it's not only Brits, it's all kinds of nationalities. So we're going to start off with house prices, and I've got three different house prices for you. And the first one, these are all apartments, by the way, none of them are houses, these are all apartments. And the first one is for 25,000 euros. This is at the time of recording this, which is early August 2024. And this two bed is 25,000 euros. Now, obviously, with all these properties, you're going to have to come along, have a look at them, look at the location, see the state of them, because at 25,000 euros, it's, I would imagine, going to be quite a bad state. It's not going to be something you're going to be able to move into straight away, for sure. The other one is for 47,000. And that's a studio apartment, so I'm not quite sure why that is quite expensive, but it is. And then the third one is a one bed, and that is 54,000. So interesting array of prices there, and obviously, as I've already said, you're going to have to come along and look, but it gives you an indication, which is what this video is about. It's not, you know, to get you to call up and, you know, start purchasing this place or any of these places. This is just a guide of what's out there. I get this, you know, from Google. I troll Google and find out what's going on for all the information that I have. Obviously, I've got local information as well, but mainly it's really to do with the Google, you know, what I find, you know. So hopefully you can do the same, or better still, come here and have a look around yourself. So the second part of this is about schools. Now, you're quite limited, you know, the schools that I've mentioned in the past videos are pretty much the same as what I'm going to talk about today. You know, you haven't got masses of private schools. The good ones obviously survive like any business, and the bad ones don't. And the ones that I have here on my list are ones that I have mentioned before. The first one is the Lady Elizabeth School, which is in Cumbre del Sol, and obviously that's quite a distance from Benidorm, but it's got good reviews. You know, people like it. Lots of people that live here went to that school, so it's obviously quite good. And the other one that I've got is Costa Blanca International College, which is actually in Benidorm. So if you're living in Benidorm, obviously that will be the one to go to. But a lot of these schools supply private buses, coaches, and they pick your children up and take them to school and bring them back, and, you know, bring them back at the point that they left. So, you know, that will be quite good. And obviously you've got, you know, you've got ordinary state schools, you know, which we all went to. Well, I did anyway. And you know, it's something that you might want to do that as well, go to a state school. But it's entirely up to you as a family to decide all these things. And obviously, you know, you need to be out here to look at the schools, talk to the schools. So it's not something you can do from your front room sat on the sofa. You can look and find places that you want to visit, but all these things that I talk about, I think you should come out and look for yourself, definitely. One of the most important things you must do is get in touch with a local council information, because they can give you lots of information, and all the details, phone numbers, emails, I'll put down below in the information box, so you can have a look at it and copy down what you need to do. And for Benidorm, you ask for the Department of Foreign Residents. There are online courses for Spanish if you want to learn Spanish, which I advise you to try and do. It's not easy. I don't speak Spanish. I know lots and lots of words, but actually having a conversation, is pretty much impossible for me. But obviously, the younger you are, the easier it is, and especially for children, they pick it up a lot quicker than what us old ones do. So that they'll more likely pick it up quicker than what the parents do, which is what I know for a fact happens. And the children end up reading letters and making phone calls and all this sort of stuff because the parents are not good enough at their Spanish. So it's quite amusing, really. But there's a couple of things that you should try to do. Always register on the town padron. That's very, very important, because that tells central government how many people are actually living in your town, and that helps the town financially. Apparently they get so much per person, so that's quite a good thing to do. What else have we got here? The padron is the main thing to do, and to make sure that you register on that, and any other information I can think of I will put in the information box anyway. So there'll be things there that you need to read and maybe follow up on. Anyway, that's about it for that sort of area. Working in Spain is a bit of an issue. EU, I'm going to read this because I've taken it from Google. EU internationals are free to work and live in Spain without restrictions. If you are a non-EU national, you will need a work and residence visa to work in the country. Requirements for this include a job contract with a Spanish employer, as well as other necessary documents. TIE, very important to have this if you intend working. So that's quite important, and that's verbatim off of Google. So because I don't know anything about working in Spain, because I've never worked. I came here at 58, retired, and I've been retired ever since, apart from doing YouTube, of course. And so that, I think it's a bit of a minefield, and I think you need to go into it very carefully. But that's working in Spain. The next thing we'll do is transport. So if you want to travel from Alicante airport to Benidorm, some of the costs are, there's a company called Express Connect. They charge $18.50 per person. You can get a taxi. I think the minimum is €75, so it could go up to 90. It's quite expensive. Coach shuttle is €30 per person. All these are options that you can take. You might want to hire a car yourself. I would hire a car. Depends how long you're here for. But if you want to travel around looking at places and visiting offices, etc., then a car for me is the way to do it. The distance between the airport and Benidorm is only 45 kilometers, and it's not that far at all. But obviously it's up to the individual. Hire a car for me would be the best thing. Regards to shopping in Benidorm, you will find lots of very large stores in Benidorm. Lots of the multinational companies are here, and also you can always go to Alicante. Alicante's got loads of stores for furniture, for white goods, for buying a car. When you eventually come here, if you don't bring a car with you, then and if you do bring a car with you, you do get a lot of hassle, because you've got to pay tax on it when you bring it in. It's a minefield. I would suggest that you buy a car here, which is obviously already registered in Spain, and it's a lot easier. It's on the right side of the road on the steering wheel, so you haven't got to worry about things like that. you know, and I think it's a much better idea. So yeah, so any big goods you want to buy for your house or apartment, or any white goods, then you know you've got choices at Benidorm, but more choice in Alicante. Leisure time. Well, obviously leisure time, if you're not working, like I don't, then you know maybe the beach is the first stop. Not for me, but a lot of people do love the beach, and they will stay on the beach for hours and hours. But you'll find that when you retire, if you are retiring out here, it's not something that you want to do all the time, because you'll get bored to death with it. So you know it's not an option to do it all the time, I don't think. But you've got lots of other water sports. You've got kayaking, scuba diving, sailing, paddle boarding, jet skiing, snorkeling. I mean, there's so much to do on the water, and if you're really into the water sports, then you'll have a great time, absolutely fantastic time. And I mean, in the evening in Benidorm, you've got 2,000 bars and 40 nightclubs, and I got onto Google and I found that out. So that's a lot of bars, a lot of bars. You do get bars coming and going because they go bust, they go bankrupt, you know, because some are popular, some aren't. But you know that's a lot of places to choose from if you want to go out of an evening. So it's pretty good. So next thing we'll look at is healthcare. In respect of healthcare, there obviously is a national health in Spain. Once you register and you've got a padron and you've got a TIE, then you know you can use the system like I do, and you get a card which is called a SIP card, SIP, and they have all your information on there. So whenever you go to the hospital, the information gets put on a computer. And when they put your SIP card in the machine, in the computer, it comes up with all your details, name, address, date of birth, all the, if you've had operations or if you've had treatment, all this comes up as well. When I came here, we didn't have any private insurance. A lot of people do go for private insurance, and I've got friends that are in that system as well. And obviously it's far better, because you know I've been waiting for surgery now for about 16 months on my back, which has made a real problem for me because I can't walk. So I'm in a wheelchair, as most people know by now. But you know, with private healthcare, you know that operation would have been done a long time ago. So you know, if you could afford private healthcare, then definitely go for it. And I know that you can get packages which covers the parents and the children. So definitely, you know, do that if you can afford it. I am going to do a phone-in, not really a phone-in, a question and answer with a insurance company about healthcare, private healthcare, and they're going to give me a lot more information. So that's coming up hopefully soon. You'll be able to see that and you know, glean some information from that. But definitely, you know, if you can afford it, definitely have private healthcare, 100%. Okay. Anyway, that's the end of the video, and I hope that it's been informative for you. I try to put in there as many things as I can think of. Sometimes I forget things. I'm old, you know. I'm 73 now, and my brain doesn't work as well as it used to, unfortunately. But I do my best. And if anyone's got any comments, you know, please, you know, put them in the comments box, and quite happy to take them on board. Any questions you might have, you know, I might be able to answer. So quite happy to get back to people and give them answers on whatever they ask about. And so anyway, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe. It is free. Yeah, it is free. So please subscribe. It all helps the channel. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Okay, bye. Ciao.